It's time to make it, just give it a try. 'Cause you can make it like the old fat guy.
Thanks for coming back to this episode of You Can Make It with David Farrell. Today, I'm going to do something that is so handy to have in your cooking repertoire, and that's how to make a gravy when you don't have any drippings from a roast or a chicken or whatever. The best part of gravy, a lot of the flavor comes from, if you cook a roast, brown dark bits get on the pan and juices come out of the roast, and that really is most of the flavor of gravy. But what do you do if you need some gravy and you haven't done a roast? What if you did it on a rotisserie with no drippings, or you're doing a steak, or you want to make some gravy for some meatballs or some other use? You have to be able to make a gravy without drippings. Now, I find that the packaged stuff and the canned gravies and that just don't have a lot of flavor. So what I do is I make my own gravy, but to give it some flavor, I add quite a bit of onion, and I make an onion gravy. And it gives a really rich, flavorful gravy without having to have any drippings. So let's get right into making some onion gravy. What I have here is half of a large onion, and I've peeled it, taken the root end off and the stem end off, and lengthwise, and now I'm just going to cut it into strips lengthwise. Now this looks like a lot of onion, but it's not. It's going to cook down a lot. You're looking for about 1.5 cups of sliced onion. So that's a little over 1 cup. We'll just give it a few more slices. And there we have 1.5 cups roughly of sliced onion. And the next thing we want to do to give the onion even more flavor is we want to cook it until it gets golden, because that adds a deep, rich flavor to the onion. So what I've got here is a pot that I'm just going to turn on my cooktop. And we'll get it set to a medium-high heat. There we go. And we're going to add 50 milliliters of vegetable oil to the pot. And we're going to add the 1.5 cups of sliced onions. And we're going to stir this continuously for 12 to 15 minutes until the onions start to get a little golden. So I'll see you then. So we've gone for about 12 minutes, and you can see that the onions got golden all around the edges, and that it has a nice brown color. You're not looking to get it dark brown. You don't want any dark brown bits. You just want that golden color starting to come. And that is when it is perfect for the next step, which is to add some flour to make a roux. So we have 50 milliliters of oil in there, so we're going to add 50 milliliters of all-purpose flour. And we're just going to sprinkle it over the pan and stir it in. Stir it into the... just like that, so it coats all the onions. There we go. And when you've got that done, you're going to add 500 milliliters or 2 cups of beef stock. Now, just pour it in slowly. Now, you can use homemade beef stock. You can buy this stuff in a can that you add water to. You can get the cartons of beef stock. Get whatever's convenient to you, and just add it to the flour and onions and stir it in. We're also going to add, just for a bit of body, 15 milliliters or 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, and 5 milliliters or a teaspoon of Worcester sauce. And now that we've got all the liquids in, we're just going to stir this over heat for a few minutes until it thickens up. As you can see, it's a beautiful color. We just need the flour to do its job to thicken it up. The gravy's been cooking for about 5 minutes, and you can see that it's gotten to be a nice thick gravy consistency. The flour's thickened up perfectly. So now we can turn the heat off, and we just want to adjust the seasonings. So just take a spoon and have a little taste. Oh, is that delicious? Now I find it usually has lots of salt for me by the time you put the soy sauce and the commercial beef stock and the Worcester in, but this could use a bit of pepper. So I'm just going to give it a quick grate of pepper, maybe half a teaspoon or so, maybe in a quarter teaspoon, we'll see, and we'll stir that in. And we'll get a clean spoon and give it another taste. Oh, that's perfect. That's a delicious gravy. So let's just see how it pours. So we'll move this over and take the beef stock container so you can see it. And we'll just pour the gravy into it. And you look at the wonderful consistency, lots of onions floating around in it. Absolutely a perfect gravy. And now let's taste it with a bit of onion. So just get a clean spoon again. And get a bit of the piece of onion because that adds to it. It is such a rich flavor, nobody will know that you didn't actually cook a big expensive roast. You'll have a beautiful onion gravy, and of course, you can make it.
I have a good woman, I ain't good looking, but I do some cooking, I'm the old fat guy. So use that oven if you want some lovin', be like the old fat guy. Be like the old fat guy.